Hello, good morning, everyone. Today I am going to tell you about 5 things that the mainstream media will not tell you related to the coup in Niger. Now, number one, allow me while I do that, I will share these slides because I like to do it like that. Second, I'm gonna put it in the very beginning of the slides. Yeah, so the number one thing that the mainstream media that will not tell you is the root cause of the coup. What is the root cause of the coup? The coup happened because the people of Niger rejected the militarization and the military intervention by France and the United States and other the collective West, all the Western countries who have their militaries in Niger. That came in the people of Niger reacted to that. It's not only also the people of Niger. It happened in Mali. It happened in Burkina Faso. It happened in Guinea Conakry. It happened also in Guinea-Bissau, but it almost happened. But yeah, we have to ask why it's happening before we go and demonize why the coup, just because the coup happened. What the Western media tells you is, of course, the so-called democratically elected government should be restored. If the so-called democratically elected government cannot bring development or make improvement to the economy, cannot do better to the life of the people of Niger, then what does it mean democracy for us? It's something that actually we need to ask. All they want to impose on us is about democracies, and we need to question about it. There is a whole gung-ho of reversing the democratically elected government in West Africa. But what about the coup that they have done? They have initiated, they have facilitated, they have capacitated, and they have enabled it. For example, the coup in Sudan. This is something that the United States, the United Arab Emirates, and the Saudi Arabia have enabled in the country. But of course, all we hear is there's a whole gun-ho of reversing democratically elected government. Whenever they want, they don't want the coup, but whenever they want, they just now the whole coup in Sudan and the war is actually forgotten. Now, what I want to tell you about is next. What is anyone that is number two of what the Western media do not tell you about is everybody's condemning the coup. But before we condemn the coup, we have to condemn the militarization and the military intervention by France, the United States, all the Western countries, Canada. Look at it, for example. Let me show you. This is a military by the United States there. They have the largest drone base in Niger. Look at it. This is a military, a French military. This is a French military. There's about 2,500 of them. The US military, there are about 1,500 of them. They tell you about evacuating the citizens, but they don't tell you about the military that is remaining behind. And when their proxy war happens, when ECOWAS military camps is ready to back up and do their war. Look at it. The whole military actually that was evacuated from Mali, that was not that was kicked out by the Mali and Burkina Faso revolutionaries is actually now basing in Niger. Okay, look at them. And then this is a military, you see their flag. This is a military of the Canadian military. There are about hundreds of them. Also in Niger, look at this is a military based in Niger. This is the Italian military. Everybody has a piece of cake in Niger. Why? Why they are making so much noise in Niger? And a coup happened in Mali, a coup happened in Burkina Faso, but they are making so much noise in Niger. Look at this is another Germany military in Niger. I mean, it's the whole, it's like the country is, it has no owners, that everybody comes and settles. I mean, the responsibility is also on us, but we have to know what is going on. This is as a result of, there are always few hundreds of them, and then the EU itself as a bloc also. Okay, there is Italy, there is military, there is France, there is Italy, there is Germany, but also the European Union as a bloc has also a military, again, a few hundreds of them. This is in opposition of this militarization in the country and the looting of the natural resource that the people are revolting against. And also those of us who we are claiming ourselves as a Pan-African, before we condemn the military intervention by ECOWAS, we need to condemn, first of all, the military interventions that happened by the West countries like the US, the France. We need to be able to condemn that out loud. Now, number three, again, I'm going to come back with the Western media or the mainstream, why they are so much against about the coup in Niger. Is that, I mean, sadly, of course, the medias in our own media houses in Africa are just echoing what is what the mainstream, what BBC talks about, what CNN, what Al Jazeera, even now the Wion of the India, they all are the same things that they are repeating. But of course, before this, for example, the Nigerian president, now the whole ECOWAS is led by President Tinubu of Nigeria. But before actually coming and condemning the coup in Niger, what about Nigeria's, it's a neighbor of Niger. They both are member of ECOWAS, and it shares the largest border with Niger. And then there are people who are doing both formal and informal trades between Nigeria and Niger. And actually, Nigeria has this also, the mainstream do not tell you. There are about 300,000 of Nigerians refugees are living actually in Niger. But now Tinubu comes and condemns. The first thing Tinubu talked about was we should not allow any coup in the country. Imagine, he just resumed office a couple of months ago, to be specific, on May 29th. But ask me, where did he go? Where was his official visits first? It was in France, actually. I mean, diplomatically, first you have to go to your neighboring countries, the regions. That's all we know. But he went first to France. That's what he did. But of course, the rest is history. What happened between him, we all have seen the pictures, the romantic pictures between him and Macron. Well, the rest is history. We have seen it, how it manifested in Nigeria. Tinubu made so much noise to go to intervene militarily in Niger. But thanks to the wise people in the Senate of Nigeria who have stopped this madness. I mean, of course, for now, and also some intelligent governance, the state governance in Nigeria who have opposed it. But of course, it's something that we will be watching this as time goes by. But also, I would like to bring to your attention, this is actually the ninth coup in the region that happened ever since when we have heard the fabrication of military insurgency in the region. It's a fabrication by the Western media so that they are able to come and intervene militarily in the country or in the region. I mean, they were in Mali, in Burkina Faso, if they were not kicked out by those coup leaders. Look, this is a drone base, the largest drone base in Africa, being built by the US. Okay, the US have about 280 million by 2024. It says, but this news came out in 2022. Actually, it was $500 million that the US is financing to build this drone base that they can control the whole continent. Again, France or Paris or the whole France is being lightened up by the uranium that is supplied by Niger, whatever percentage it is, it doesn't matter. But around 70% of France is lightened by a power a power that came through from uranium. But while Niger is the second poorest country, while more than 80% of Nigerians are living in darkness. So the coup comes, or the revolution comes, because of these accumulated things. One need to ask the people of Niger. I'm not here to promote coup, but we need to ask if it happened in Mali, if it happened in Burkina Faso, if it happened in Guinea. Now it's happening it happened in Niger. But one needs to ask even the African Union and other regional organizations like ECOWAS, instead of jumping to military intervention, what is happening? That they need to talk to the people. Yeah. Another thing is the West always, of course, the Western media try to when it comes to Africa, it's all about democracy. There's one term that I like about the Rastafarians, how they formulate the words. They call it democracy. It's like a demon that's imposed on us about this democracy thing. But they don't talk about the development programs that they are halting in the continent. The one you see this is Lake Chad. 95%. This is before and after. Okay, this is like a time period between 1972 and 2007. Now it's totally dried. Now there is this development program. Chad is in Central Africa, to replenish 95% of Lake Chad. Okay, to replenish. This happened due to climate change. But guess what? The program to replenish, the project to replenish this Lake Chad is opposed or stopped. Guess who stopped it? And I will add another thing for you. Who is again against the investment totally in Western Africa in general? Most of we don't hear them about those development projects. We don't hear them, of course, in the mainstream. But if we dig, we will read and we will get it. And guess actually who stopped the investigation about the Boko Haram crime in Nigeria? If you are actually really wondering who that country is, it's France. It's France who is stopping these projects. But it's France again who have the military in the region, who's looting the natural resources of those countries, and who's making so much noise when they say we're going to take our destiny in our hands and we're going to bring change, development to our people. Then this is the noise that comes from France and its Western allies. Look, this is the news. France. This actually came. This is ICRR, but there was a news, a media outlet that published it in Nigeria, and of course, the French ambassador came out and he denied it. Now, the fifth element that I want to tell you, the fifth point that the Western media do not tell you about is related to the coup in Niger, is that there is a massive pipeline, a gas pipeline that is signed by Algeria, Nigeria, and Niger. The pipeline comes from Nigeria, passes through Niger, and passes through Algeria up north in the continent, and then that goes to Europe to supply their energy. Why? Because that one it's happened by themselves because of the Ukraine-Russia, or rather the Russia-NATO war. it has been stopped. So now they want to get their alternative. So they don't want to lose this project. So everybody, the whole EU is making noise, echoing France and US to make a military intervention and intimidating the ECOWAS, putting it when the ultimatum finished, calling ECOWAS, that's its credibility is in question mark. To whom is the credibility of the ECOWAS actually? Isn't it to the people? So yeah, right now they are even intimidating the ECOWAS so that ECOWAS go and fight. They don't want even the war to happen at their own in their own territory. Well, so there are many things, but these are the 5 things that I selected to tell you, because it's all about empowering ourselves with information and knowledge. We need to know before we go and, we absorb that propaganda by the Western media. So finally, before I leave, I really would like to call for those of us, Pan-Africans, even for the African Union or regional organizations, we need to call for the removal of the US and French and other foreign militaries from the region, from Niger and from the region. We need to call for the removal of any foreign military in the region, including Niger. That is the call that we need to take and, bring it to the world. So with that, I leave you, and please let me know what you think of these things that I have just brought to you, what the Western media or the mainstream do not tell you related to the coup in Niger. Please let me hear you in the comment section. For now, I will leave you with that. And tonight we will meet again in our live stream program here at Connect Africa. Thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.